So let's talk about that. Josh Allen had the greatest day ever for a quarterback. 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. It hadn't been done in a long time. And the Bills lost. Of course they did, because they've been wasting Josh Allen's talent forever. I mean, the Rams had almost 30 first downs. We're 11 of 15 on third. Almost perfect in the red zone. 38 minutes, time of possession. They dominated that. The Bills had a punt blocked. Stafford did whatever he wanted. You ever consider rolling coverage over on Puka? It can't look that easy if you're Matt Stafford. Was that the Bills scout team? Listen, Josh Allen is the greatest quarterback talent I've ever seen. He's better than Elway. He's better than Mahomes as a talent. Andrew Luck couldn't do that. 6'6", huge arm, 255, and produced 400-plus yards. Again, he's done it 11 times. And you know what his record is in those games? 5-6. This franchise continues to let him down. Mahomes has the better coach and the trophies and is the second most talented quarterback in this league. But if you give Patrick Mahomes, or he gives you 6 touchdowns, Kansas City wins. There are games he can give you 1 touchdown and a pick, and Kansas City wins. Josh Allen, I mean, how many times are we going to see this? He literally is jaw-dropping. There's nothing you can do. He doesn't scramble for 9 yards. He'll scramble for 39. He doesn't throw it 40 yards on a line. He throws it 58 yards on a line. He's a jaw-dropping, once-in-a-lifetime talent. He had 4 touchdowns and no picks once against this Kansas City Chiefs team, which I'll show in a minute, and lost. Of course he did. Now I'm looking at his numbers. It is just a total waste of his talent. And you can blame whoever you want. I like the owner, GM Sharp. Sean McDermott's good, but I've compared him to Chuck Knox. Legendary bounce-around coach that won everywhere, but couldn't get the trophy. Josh Allen is 4-5. That is it in games in which he produces 400-plus yards. You know what Mahomes' record is in those games? 14-2. Ball game. Ball game. They are wasting his talent. Yes, don't get me wrong. Matt Stafford, we've been saying this for years. He's and was an all-time passing talent. He's what Aaron Rodgers wishes he was the last 3 years. He was better in high school and college than Aaron. He's better now than Aaron. He was better for the first 3 to 4 years in the league than Aaron. But he ended up in Detroit. McVay's like, get me that guy. They did. He's magical when he's upright. If they can protect him, he's one of the only guys in the league that can go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen. Wow to wow to wow to wow. 76% completion percentage, 132 passer rating. But it can't look that easy. I mean, the Rams were making Josh Allen throw in tiny windows, making him run around. That Rams defense is young, talented, fast, athletic. They were making Josh Allen work for it. Matt Stafford, it was like a summer drill. It was 7-on-7 football. So the kid is absolutely jaw-dropping, and I feel terrible for him because they've got to do something. When he puts the cape on, Mahomes is 14-2, and he is 4-5. And again, it's not like the Rams defense doesn't have talent. Their last couple, 2-3 drafts, they've spent it on defensive guys up front, and you can see them. But Allen's ability to cut through it is remarkable, and yet he loses again, and this time to an inferior team. Here is Sean McVay, the winning coach after.
Josh Allen is an alien. Some of the stuff that he can do and the things that he can create, we knew he was capable of that. He's shown that. It's why he is, as well respected and regarded in this league as he is. It's all deserved and earned. But our guys found a way to just make enough plays to be able to come out on top.
Now I'd like to talk about a team that doesn't waste their quarterback's talent. The Kansas City Chiefs, who just won their 9th straight AFC West title. Now, they were facing Justin Herbert, who was so hot in the second half. He went forever until he had an incompletion. The pass rush for the Chargers was giving Mahomes fits. Jim Harbaugh made tweaks at halftime. Quentin Johnson, the receiver, redeemed himself. I mean, the Chargers put up a fight. I've said this all year. The Chargers feel like a little bit of a poor man's Chiefs. Coach, quarterback, pass rush, just enough weapons. And they were missing their best back and probably their best receiver. And yet, did anybody doubt Reed, Mahomes, Travis Kelce would figure out a way to win it in the fourth quarter? If you keep delivering on earnings day as a CEO, it's not luck. It's a business model. You don't do anything 10, 15 times. They're 10-0 in one-score games. 15 straight wins in one-score games. That is beyond luck. That is efficiency. Luck is like a bad team doing it 2 times in a row. Luck isn't a dynasty doing it 15 times in a row. Some people are smarter. They're more clutch. Kansas City, even the doinks work in their favor. But when they called that play on the sidelines and Reed, Nagy, and Mahomes go over and they're talking, they've done this now 15 straight times. Losers call winners lucky. I'm sure Carolina and the Bears are like, what a lucky team. Winners get how hard it is. Mahomes, look at Kelce sitting down. That is a designed play. They manipulated and toyed with a defense who's very good. And once again, Kansas City, they've rebuilt the O-line. They've rebuilt the defense. They've 2 times rebuilt the receiving core for Mahomes. And they ask Mahomes a couple of times a game to jump into the phone booth and put on the Superman cape. A couple times a game. The Bills asked Josh Allen to put on the cape right before the anthem starts. He has to come dressed as Superman because they'll have a punt blocked. Or Matt Stafford will have a 7-on-7 drill against them. And this is what I love. I'll say this about New England. In Brady's prime, they didn't always have the best roster. But I said this 2 months ago. Kansas City has become a more clever offensive version of what New England was. Was it lucky when New England for 20 years kept winning all those close games? No, it's a business model. They're just smarter. I've had multiple players and executives. They would practice things in New England all summer long. All summer long. Call it once in November. They were just more prepared. And when Mahomes and Reed and Nagy are on that sideline, it's like, yeah, it's a third down, it's over. They're going to get it. And again, they ask Mahomes occasionally to put on the cape. Josh Allen has to wear it to the game. 4-5 is Josh Allen in games in which he's Superman. Mahomes is 14-2. And I love that they were juxtaposed. I love that you got Josh Allen against the great quarterback playing out of his mind and losing, and Mahomes playing against the great quarterback with a team that's kind of ham and egging it at left tackle. They brought a guy in, he got hurt, and yet winning. Efficiency, smart, doing anything multiple times over and over and over and over. It's not luck. Luck is a scratch-off ticket. Luck is a losing company having a good earnings quarter. Yeah, NVIDIA doing another big day for NVIDIA stock is not luck. They're ahead of the industry. And that's what Kansas City is and what New England was. And here's Mahomes after.
As long as we have a chance to go out there and have the football and make a play happen, I feel like we're going to make it happen. To be able to win this division, to gain another game in the playoff picture, it was an important game for us against a really good football team. We found a way to get a win, but now we got to keep building if we want to get to our ultimate goal.
I actually thought that was one of the 3 or 4 best losses of the year for the Chargers. They didn't have their best receiver. They didn't have their best back. And Herbert, they made adjustments at halftime. Herbert had, I think, 10 straight completions. They had opportunities to win the game. They made a couple of key defensive plays, but it's very difficult when you're facing the best quarterback, along with Josh Allen, Mahomes, the best coach, the best tight end, and a team that's situationally. I mean, I don't know how you guys watch these games. I always feel like, yeah, they'll figure it out. That confidence, the Chiefs even, their confidence doinks in the winner. It's just who they are. It defines them. 100 years from now, you will talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, and you'll look at the records and you're like, man, they won a lot of close games. Yes, because that's what happens when you eventually have to pay your quarterback $450 million. That you aren't very good at offensive tackle. That you have to make midseason moves. That you really don't have a number one receiver. That your tight end's getting old. He's good in spots, but not for the duration of the season. That's what happens. But Kansas City always figures a way to make it work, and Buffalo never does. And I don't think that's just some zany coincidence. All right, 50 minutes from now, Colin